Like happiness and joy are an integral part of life, similarly, sorrow is also a part of life. However, for those surrounded by sorrows, life starts to feel like hell. They start to believe that this world itself is hell. Someone's son doesn't listen to his parents. Someone's father doesn't pay heed to their child's words. The death of someone's loved one occurs, and life, filled with various kinds of sorrows, starts to feel like hell to us. But we fail to understand that happiness and sorrow are two sides of the same coin. Friends, Gautam Buddha made a great effort to help people understand both sides of this coin, happiness and sorrow, through his stories. So, through a similar story, we will try to help you understand both sides of this coin. Just as we spread motivation in the world through our stories, your subscribing to this channel gives us motivation. Let the cycle of giving and receiving continue. Therefore, friends, please subscribe to this channel. Now, let's begin the story. Gautam Buddha was passing through a town. On the way, he saw a child playing in the courtyard of his house, while his mother was doing some work. The child's mother noticed Buddha, greeted him, and then said, "Please wait, Buddha. I will bring something for you." Buddha replied, "My bowl is already filled. I take only as much as my bowl can hold. That's why I can't accept anything today. I will come again tomorrow, you can give it to me tomorrow." Buddha placed his hand on the child's head and left from there. The next day, Buddha came back to the same woman. Seeing Buddha, she became extremely happy and filled a bowl with rice for him. Buddha accepted it. He gave the woman some herbs and said, "Crush these herbs and mix them with the rice grains. Feed this mixture to your child. This way, he will remain healthy." The woman accepted the herbs. 1 month later, Buddha was giving teachings in Sravasti about the suffering of all beings in the world. In that assembly, a woman came to Buddha with her child in her arms and placed the child at Buddha's feet. She asked, "Hey Buddha, what is death? What is the pain of it? You ask me. I am a widow. My son has also left me now. He neither cries nor laughs anymore. Buddha, didn't you recognize me?" Buddha lifted the child into his lap and said to the woman, "Your son is very beautiful. I had given you some herbs. Haven't you fed them to him?" The woman fell at Buddha's feet and said, "Buddha, I apologize. I threw away those herbs. I couldn't trust you. I thought those herbs might harm my son. Some people in the village also called you fake and deceitful." Buddha asked the woman if she now had faith in him. The woman replied, "Yes, Buddha. I went everywhere to find a cure for my son. Then someone told me to go to Buddha, who solves everyone's problems. Please, Buddha, save my son's life." Buddha said to the woman, "Just as life is real, death is also real. One should accept it." The woman said, "Buddha, you don't understand my pain. I am a widow. My only support in life was my son, and now he has left me too. Can't you revive him? Will you not show me mercy?" Buddha replied, "All right, I will surely bring your son back to life, but for that, you need to do one thing for me first. You must bring a handful of yellow mustard seeds from a house where nobody has experienced death." The woman said, "Okay, I will get them right away." Buddha told her to wait. "You need to bring these mustard seeds from a house where no death has ever occurred," Buddha said. The woman wiped her tears and said, "I will bring them now." With her son in her arms, she ran towards the village. There, she knocked on the door of a house. The homeowner came out. The woman asked the homeowner for a handful of yellow mustard seeds. The homeowner gave her the mustard seeds. Happily, the woman was leaving with the seeds when she suddenly remembered that Buddha had asked for mustard seeds from a house where no one had experienced death. She asked the homeowner, "Has anyone in your house died?" The homeowner replied, "Yes, my father passed away a few days ago." Realizing this, the woman returned the mustard seeds to the homeowner and decided to go to another house. Going to another house, the woman once again asked for mustard seeds and inquired if anyone in their house had died. The man replied, "Yes, about 10 years ago, my whole family was swept away in a flood. I'm the only one left alive, and now I am bearing the burden of my life alone." The woman thought that finding a house where no death had occurred seemed impossible, but she didn't give up. She continued her efforts. Throughout the day, from morning to evening, she roamed the entire village, but she couldn't find any house where death hadn't taken place. She was in tears and hugging her son tightly. She was heading towards Buddha. Suddenly, on her way, she saw a cremation ground. She went there and began to dig a pit for her son. She was digging the pit, and as she dug, she looked at her son for a long time, kissed his forehead, and then placed her son in the pit she had dug. With tears streaming down her face, she buried her son in that pit. Overcome by grief, she came back to the same assembly, where Buddha was waiting for her. She fell at his feet, her tears not ceasing. One who has received life will certainly meet death. Whether one is a king or a pauper, whether someone is loved or not, everyone will eventually face it. You are right in saying so. Further, she said, "Hey Buddha, initially, I felt that the pain of death was only within me. But I realized that people in the world are experiencing more pain and suffering than me." In response, Buddha said, "Your son hasn't gone anywhere. He is still around you. You can feel him. As long as creation exists, sorrow will walk alongside humans. And its cause is binding oneself to attachment with people through emotions. As long as this exists, you remain, and as long as you remain, sorrow remains. When something is with us, we don't value it. But as soon as it departs, the absence creates a deep sense of pain within us. And we become sad. We don't live life consciously. That's why we cry and whimper at the thought of death, but you don't understand it." She says to the wise one, "This is known to all, but how can one attain liberation from it?" He replied, "Even for liberation, awakening the intellect is essential. Without tranquility, one cannot have wisdom. When you calmly contemplate, you'll realize that death is the ultimate truth. Then you'll perceive that just as birth is, so is death, the ultimate truth of life. After seeing both joy and sorrow with clarity, you will experience that they are two sides of the same coin. And when your mind is filled with this consciousness, you will realize that birth and death are not separate but connected." With tears in her eyes, she said, "You have shown me a new path. Until now, my life felt meaningless after the departure of my son, but now I understand the essence of life. The path you've shown me is the one I'll walk on." If this story has added even a bit of wisdom to you, then do share it with your family, friends, and loved ones. And make sure to subscribe to this channel. So, keep paying attention until then, and stay blissful.